Yeah. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. Sean on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your boy John Altidor with Pro Fan Sports Podcast, where the fans of the pros go back at you with another one with my boys Vlad and Barry. What's good, my dudes?
Yo, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's great to be here. Excited about another episode. We're on to episode 34.
Episode 34, Ricky Williams.
Yeah, who got a lot of this? Poof, Paul Pierce, Big Papi,
Shane
David
Vereen.
Ortiz, right up, Shane Vereen, Walter Payton for going old school.
Ooh, that's old.
Yeah, that is back in the day, but definitely a legend. Absolutely, man. He was definitely one of the great ones. So
Facts, man.
A lot of great 34 out there. Shout out to all the great 34s for sure. Now that's another great number.
Yes, sir. So let's get to it, man. As always, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram at profans_sports, twitter.com/profansports, facebook.com/profansports. And if you like to watch, we urge you to watch, actually. We're on youtube.com/profansports. Our episodes drop every Tuesday religiously, 8 a.m., and our videos drop on Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that. Push the bell notification, push the subscribe button, man. That supports the channel, that support us as a podcast to let us continue what we're doing, man. And as always, this week we're gonna be starting off with the NFL. See what's going on there. The trade deadline went by. Some guys were on the move. Some people got fined. Some people are doing their debuts this week. So we'll talk about that. We're on the NBA also. We got an NBA start that's coming pretty soon. So we'll talk about that and break down some stuff that's happening. MLB, Red Sox got a manager. We'll talk about that a little bit. Vlad will update you on soccer. We got a couple questions from our supporters, and then a B-Money Lifestyle Person of the Week. But firstly, yesterday, I should say Saturday, America and the world found out who the next president of the United States is going to be. And, the current president, 45, he's out of there. So congratulations to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for winning the 2020 presidential election race, man. And I know this week kind of felt pretty long for a lot of people, based on what transpired. If you're paying attention, I don't know how you could not be paying attention, but how'd you guys feel about it? Do you remember where you were when you got the news? It happened pretty recently, so unless you were, pounding, whatever you were doing, you should be able to remember. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Nah, it's been a long week. It's been a long week, almost tiring. There was only one thing on TV the whole time. You go sleep, wake up, same thing on TV. I don't know. I don't even know how those journalists do it. They talking about the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just excited that we got a news that favors me, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty excited about Kamala Harris being not only the first woman, but the first woman of color to be the vice president. And congratulations to both of them. But the work starts now. This is not a time to sit back. It's time to go to work and unite the country, as Biden mentioned.
Right.
Yeah, I was pretty ecstatic and excited when I heard about the news that Joe Biden had won the election. You're right. It felt like this week took forever and was one of those weeks that would never end, and particularly with an election that would never end. Like, we just every day you would wake up and you'd be like, is this gonna be the day that we know and find out? Like, are they gonna finally, end this election already and come out with the result of the winner? And you just, it's crazy that it really took almost a week, pretty much for the election to end. It just ended on Saturday. With Joe Biden being announced as a winner, so felt really good, about it, and it was, filled with a lot of excitement and joy, that he was the winner, and also felt the same way towards Kamala Harris. So definitely big shout outs to her for being the first female vice president and female of color as well to be in that position. So I'm glad that we're able to witness history being made on Saturday, and I think it's certainly something that the country desperately needed in the worst way, and it's definitely a step in the right direction. For this country, and that so that we really needed to happen. So I'm glad that it had transpired, and and now it's time to to make things happen and to do what is needed to be done in order to get this country right back where it needs to be.
Yeah, man. I think it's been a strange ass week. I knew like I was gonna be stressed out about the whole situation. So I voted early. So I voted like 2 weeks ago because I was like, man, on the 3rd, I don't want to be nowhere near a polls, nowhere near, casting no damn ballots, none of that shit. You know what I mean? Standing in line.
It actually wasn't too bad though. Cause I voted early in the morning on Tuesday, and the way I was there right at 7. That. And it wasn't as long as I thought. It was a little long, but not too bad though.
Yeah, no, I didn't wait in no line at all. I just went right in there.
Good for you.
Got my shit. I was gone. You know what I'm saying? But I plan to like not watch any politics at all on Tuesday. I'm like, yo, Tuesday night we're gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
right. That's what I was thinking too.
Ready,
Right.
And then a couple of I stayed away from watching any coverage all day.
How did you know what I'm saying? Do that?
Me?
Yeah.
Listen, just like I didn't watch the Celtics when they was freaking losing those games. I don't know, man. I just had the willpower to not do that.
To not watch it at all? Wow.
Listen, I was on social media. I mean, listen, I was looking at people's statuses, you know what I'm saying? Like, updating whatever's going on. Yeah. But me personally, I wasn't gonna go on YouTube to watch like CNN. I wasn't gonna go on Facebook to watch any live, whatever political, whatever's going on. Just cause like that was like my self-care kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't want to be that stressed out, so I'm just not even gonna pay attention to it. You know what I mean? I did my part. I voted. I had my voice heard. Let's just wait for the results, man. And it never came, dude. I'm like, yo, what is going on?
No, right.
So they're talking about counting. I'm like, yo, why is it taking so long to count, yo? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I was feeling that way too. Like, it doesn't take that long to count votes.
So the thing I found out is it takes a long time to count votes, even in the past election.
Yeah,
it takes almost like a month, if not more,
to count all them shits.
To count everything.
Wow, really? Wow.
They can declare a state. They can declare somebody win a state, like Joe Biden win Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Way before they count all the votes.
Right, because it's like based on projections.
It's based on projection,
based on percentages of
But in order to count all the vote, actually, usually like the end of counting all the votes can be till next year. Like
that is crazy.
Oh, wow,
which is
really?
Crazy. I learned
a whole year process.
I think
that?
so. Like I think
wow,
it takes,
I
like,
did not
for them
realize
to determine exactly how many votes, I think it takes like a long time.
I mean, cause I know you gotta like verify everything.
Yeah,
and then how do you verify like million? Like
it's just it's like when you take the SATs.
Yeah.
And you
I get it.
And then you put it in the machine. And,
right. Well, it's like, dude, there's 75 million people voted for Joe Biden. It's like,
And
dude, that's a lot.
And 70 million voted for the other guy.
But yeah, for baby 45, yeah.
Baby 45.
You like that?
I
know,
like
but,
that.
But my boy
B-Dog.
B-Dog says that all the time, refers to him as that. So I'm like, yeah, instead of referring to him as his name, I'm just going to refer to him as that too. So no, that's a good
Right.
one.
Right, but before, we get into, like, criticizing, 45 and whatever he stands for and shit like that, I think people should know, we have, like, our personal feelings on why, what I'm saying, we weren't supporters, what I'm saying, not to, like, well, I can't say I can't bash some people, because some people definitely need it, but you can't bash everybody that, like, voted, you know what I'm saying, because some people voted for, like, economic reasons, and they've never even had a black person in their life. And it's you know what I'm saying? It's like I understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you're right. We have to respect.
We have to respect it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 years, man. We've lived with it, and I think for us, it's just like the stuff that came out of this situation that we've been in for the last 4 years. It's just like. Stuff was just like out of control, man.
Yeah, it was a hot mess. Absolutely.
We felt like it needed to be changed,
Oh, yeah.
But I'm sitting there, I'm watching all this stuff. Well, I'm not even watching. I'm just like paying attention to like, I seen all the memes like, recount Nevada's taking extra long. You know what I'm saying? And I keep seeing like the electoral is like Biden has 253. And I saw he had 264. I'm like, which one is it?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So even though I wasn't
confused on that too,
even though I wasn't watching it or paying close attention to it, I was still like anxious about it, dude. So like, I think a lot of people sharing that same feeling, and in the end, they finally. I didn't know why a lot of the big platforms weren't calling the situation, because I felt like they should have called a couple of these things, a couple of days ago, but. Like you said, it takes a long time to determine.
It was too close to call for some of those states.
Right.
Because you need to have, I don't know exactly, but I think it needs to be more than 10,000 votes in between you and in between Biden and Trump for them to call some of those states.
Yeah, man. And for the people, just talking about stop counting. And
well,
like,
there was one side of it was one side of it. Only one side.
One side was saying that. Yeah.
Please keep counting. It's like. Just count. Listen,
you gotta count everything.
Exactly. For real.
You should be blaming the people that are organizing this shit. They told you not to count anything that came through mail until election day. So like, obviously, it's gonna take a long fucking time to count those votes if you start on election day. And when you're gonna get even more millions of votes. It's like, are you dumb? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like self-sabotaging. None of you, please, my voters don't vote in mail ballots. Don't do it at all. You know what I mean? So now we're crying about voting. Like, it's weird shit, but like, it was just a lot of stuff going through my mind all week. I mean, I'm glad of the outcome. I don't know what that really means, but I know it means that, hopefully, we'll get a calmer country coming out of this, you know what I'm saying?
For
People
real.
will start thinking a little bit before they do certain things.
A less divided country, for sure.
A less divided country.
Facts, big facts.
A lot less of the inflammatory shit that happens, in the media, people catching the videos. Like, we got Karens out of this fucking administration, bro.
For real.
Like,
honestly.
Just we have like permit patties, like, all these fucking people came out like during this administration, man. It's just been I don't know, mentally draining, man.
Yes, absolutely.
For me, yesterday and today's just been it felt like there's like a sense of calm, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, I'm not gonna hear no bullshit today. But I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's obviously naive.
I was surprised by the amount of people that was celebrating. As soon as the results went out, like my neighbor started blasting his music. I was like, oh shit, people like really, really care about this.
Bro, this reminded me of when Obama got elected. Not to say like, it's the same thing,
it's not
but
the
like
same,
the excitement the people are displaying for the fact that this dude is gone is kind of like the equivalent of how excited we were for like Obama being elected first black president. You know what I'm saying?
No, for real, definitely it was pretty similar in terms
Right.
of that excitement, right?
So it's safe to say you guys, are happy about the results. I think lastly on this topic, because we got to get into the sports. What would you personally like this administration to work on?
Many things, but for me is some of the fucked up immigration laws that Trump came through with. I would like some of them to be reversed.
That's fair. I agree with that.
Yeah, no, I'm with that too. But for sure, I'd like to see that change as
Right.
well.
I'd like to see the DACA situation not be in jeopardy and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Because I got some friends that are here through that program. You know what I'm saying? So that stuff's weird. What about you, Barry?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a lot of things that they need to, work on and that need to be done. I think the main things that I'd personally like to see this administration work on is, obviously the coronavirus pandemic, and the systematic, racism in the country. I think those are the main couple of things I'd like to see them work on, among the many others that, need to, be worked on and need to, be fixed in this country, since we got a whole lot of problems in the economy as well. So, but I know that kind of ties along with the, pandemic in a sense. So I think, as those things are worked on, I'll, be happy with, this administration.
Yeah, for me, I think firstly, let's do some, come up with a comprehensive plan on this fucking coronavirus situation that's going on, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's first and foremost, because I think, people have been really stupid about this situation.
Absolutely.
And we have to get control of this shit, because I'm trying to go back to living my regular fucking life. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be able to go back into establishments and, live normally, you know what I'm saying? And I know that's not gonna come without like a vaccine or whatever they're talking about. But, for me, it's just like, dude, let's just get on the right track with this coronavirus shit. Stop listening to people talking about, it's a hoax, talking about it's like the flu, bro. we're not gonna not go into work for months at a time because of the flu. I guarantee you that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so let's do something about that. And I think number 2 for me is Biden and Harris need to work on the situation with black men and incarcerations. They need to, like, for these niggas need to pardon somebody in jail every freaking month, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need to figure this stuff out with criminal reform. Yeah. And that starts with like the 94 crime bill. We hear everybody talking about that's why they were trying to like dissuade us from voting for Joe Biden. But it's like, bro, we need to work on this. Trump never said he was going to work on the 94 crime bill. Yeah. Sure, he did pardon a lot of people, and I appreciate him for that. You know what I'm saying? He pardoned a lot of people, and that's good for him. But I'd definitely like to see Joe Biden get to work, man, because I feel like he did a lot of damage, to the communities, and we got to acknowledge that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want you up here just because we don't like Donald Trump. Fix the shit you started.
Yeah.
Facts. Exactly.
And lastly, for sure, man, the economy, you definitely got to work on that.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Just make sure people are confident in the economy and going out there spending money and living their life, man. That's lastly for me. But those are the top 3 concerns that I have, and I hope they get to work on that shit pretty quickly. Kamala Harris, I heard, is responsible for the incarceration of a lot of black men in California. So, from what I've been hearing her talk about, it seems like, that stuff's in her mind, and she's been questioned about that stuff a lot. So hopefully they have the decency, to start working on a lot of that stuff. So I think that's their most important thing they need to work on, other than the coronavirus and the economy situations, But yeah, congratulations, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris once again. You know, but let's get into the NFL, man.
Yeah,
let's get into
do it.
sports.
Talk some football.
We
Absolutely.
talk these people's ears off enough about the election. So
right. I'm sure they've heard enough of it all week, and as mentally exhausted as they are and as we are. So right. I'm ready to get to the sports and then talk some football in the NFL. So yeah, let's do it.
Right. Hopefully, it's kind of like, you know, we have a calm politically in the country now, so that we're not talking about political shit every other show. You know. So let's get to it. So
yeah,
the NFL,
I hope
man,
so too. Yeah.
Trade deadline passed. It passed on the same day as the election, November 3rd, right? And we saw some trades go down. We saw Chargers traded defensive back Desmond King, the second to the Tennessee Titans. The Chargers will receive a 2021 6th-round draft pick from Tennessee. So that happened. We saw the Saints acquire Quan Alexander from the San Francisco 49ers for linebacker Kiko Alonso and a conditional 5th-round pick. And I believe they also signed him to a contract, I think a $54 million contract.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's what's up. Good for him. So he got a new team and he got the bag. So that's what's up.
The New York Jets, they agreed to trade linebacker Avery Williamson to Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Jets will receive the Steelers' 2022 5th-round draft pick in exchange, and 2022 7th-round draft pick.
Interesting.
Yeah, good shit.
Good stuff for the Steelers.
Right. The Miami Dolphins traded Isaiah Ford to wide receiver Isaiah Ford to the New England Patriots for a conditional 6th-round pick in the 2022 draft pick. So right now it's a 7th-round pick, but if he does well enough, it'll be a 6th round.
6th round,
you know
right?
what I'm saying? So hopefully he does well enough to be a 3rd rounder, but we'll just give him a 6th round. You know what I mean? Just so he could help the team out. The New England Patriots also claimed defensive tackle Isaiah Mack off waivers after he was released by Tennessee Titans. I don't know anything about that guy, but
I just think it's too position of need.
Yeah,
on the team
for sure.
Right. They needed some depth on the defensive line. So
and receiver, we need.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially
he's a versatile guy, and he killed us last year.
Of course, Belichick like the versatile guys. So
right, and the guys that kill us every other year. So he always tries to trade for those guys for some reason, like Wes Welker. You know, before he came on, he just used to destroy us. Like, came out of nowhere, just Wes Welker. Weird. And the Patriots also signed wide receiver Dante Moncrief to the practice squad. I thought that was a good move.
No, I like the move too, but sure. Now Moncrief's a solid player.
Receiver, I like.
Right.
right. But bring in all the receiving help you can get.
So.
Right.
Like I'm not even excited about, because we're recording early. We're not recording before we watch the Jets game.
Right.
I'm not even excited about that game.
No, Sam Darnold's not even playing that.
I'm more excited. Right. Not to feel, but I'm more excited about tonight.
Oh, the Saints.
The Bucks and the Saints.
Gotta be watching the Bucks.
Brady versus Breeze. I'm more excited about that game than I am about the Jets versus the Pats game.
Bro, I was telling Barry,
to be honest,
we were messaging each other. I'm like, dude, I feel so hurt watching Tom Brady, dude. Like, it's so hard for me to watch him. I'm like, yo, he's doing so good.
I love watching him.
Yeah, me too. Exactly. I love watching every Bucks game. Man.
I love watching him. It hurts, bro.
There was one Bucks game that wasn't on TV, and that was the day that we both, the Patriots and the Bucks, played on. On at the same time.
Yeah.
I made sure I found a link to watch the Bucks.
Oh, word. That's what's up. Word.
Oh man, dude.
So you're like, I'm not missing this game. I'm gonna watch both at the same time.
Especially like Brady and Breeze going out together. Like, that's two Hall of Famers. Two guys that are every week they're surpassing each other in total touchdown. Right, I'm not gonna miss that.
Bro. Oh yeah, not me either. And that's
we should have been witnessing this in New England.
Facts.
Big fact. Absolutely.
If Belichick wanted to give him a 2-year deal, we would have been witnessing this.
With our weapons, we wouldn't be throwing no touchdowns. with our weapons.
Yeah, with the
He would have been. They would have screwed Brady with our weapons this year for sure.
Oh, Brissett is in.
Brissett,
Jacoby Brissett. But no, anyways, just wanted to real quick say that that's a huge game for both teams. They're both 5-2 right now, and the winner of that game would be at the driver's seat of the division and top of the conference too, among the NFC leaders. So and the Saints won the first matchup, so this is a big game for the Bucs to be able to
not losing again, man.
Right, twice in the same team.
I don't think he's losing. I just don't.
Brady's not losing again, man.
And 84 is back.
Yes, he is.
84 is back.
He is. Mr. AB is officially back in the NFL. Right.
Is on the agenda. Antonio Brown officially signed. He had his first press conference the other day. I posted it on the platform. If you want to watch it, we're on Instagram. ProFans_sports. So if you want to watch that, you can go. I think that thing got like 1,500 views or something like that.
Oh yeah, for real.
Got some views. You know what I'm saying?
Get the views up. Yeah.
Our most viewed content had like 51,000. So like, you know what I mean? Be quiet though. Don't tell nobody. Actually, tell everybody. Actually,
we still trying to get them views up, no doubt.
Right. But Antonio Brown, man, he's back and he's debuting Sunday night, man.
Woo,
you know
can't wait.
The show is back.
Yes.
Another person that's back is Des Bryant. He's actually playing in the game right now. Des Bryant, he was promoted to the Ravens active roster, so he's officially back in the league, and congrats to him and welcome back to the league, and I hope he does some good things, man.
Yes, shout out Des Bryant. Yes,
excited for Des.
Right, maybe he can prolong his career and play 2 more years. You know what I'm saying?
Right, for real, facts.
He should be nice and healthy now.
Yeah, that hasn't played since 2017. Right. So he's well rested and has no excuse really.
Right. Your hamstring should be like new right now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I feel as though that's when hamstrings get hurt.
Yeah.
But when you haven't played in a while,
too much,
when
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when you haven't used them, they get tight.
Right, man. That's all good news, but there is some bad news for some guys in the NFL. So the NFL is fining the Las Vegas Raiders $500,000. And Coach Gruden himself, he's being fined $150,000. He can cover it because he has like a $100 million contract, whatever it is.
$100 million.
Yeah, man. Sure, the dude has the bag, so
he got
$150,000 ain't nothing to him.
For real, that's like 25 cents. In addition to stripping the franchise of a 6th-round draft pick for COVID-19 protocol violations related to Trent Brown's positive coronavirus test in late October. I don't really know what transpired there, but I've heard, they're not doing the right things over there all year, so I'm not really surprised.
With the Steelers?
No.
Oh, the Raiders?
The Raiders.
Yeah, I know there's been a bunch of situations going on with that team and COVID as far as not... as far as allowing an unauthorized person into their locker room, I believe, which they, already got fined for, and then they had like their whole Albin's line got put on the COVID list, and then Darren Waller, their tight end, had a fundraising charity event in which some of the players on the Raiders showed up to it and they weren't wearing masks. So I think you're right, since they're repeat defenders, that's why the league felt like they had to come down pretty harshly and severely on them, in which they did. So I'm not too surprised about this punishment, and I think you're right, it's deserved. It's what they should get for not going by the COVID protocols.
Yeah, man. It sucks for them, but the Pittsburgh Steelers is on that list too. They've been fined a total of $350,000 for mass violations in the win against the Baltimore Ravens.
Last game, I saw Belichick not wearing his mask.
He didn't wear the double mask that he usually
He
wears?
was wearing it, obviously, at the beginning of the game. There was like a good 5-10 minutes of the game where I was like, Belichick is not wearing his mask. So I thought there was going to be a fine. I mean, maybe there will be a fine, but I thought there was going to be a fine for that.
I wonder if the league noticed that, because that's weird. I didn't really pick up on that either. And he usually has the double mask.
Yeah, he usually has it. I don't know. I think something, it was a frustrating game, so I think something happened where he
just
he took it
decided
out.
not to wear
he
it.
took it up to yell at somebody and then he forgot to wear it.
Oh,
back on.
I remember that part.
See?
He didn't
See?
have it. Just came to me,
See?
right?
You
And he
remember?
was pretty upset and pissed off about, like, you know, a play or how the team was playing, and he was just like, "Yeah, screw the mask. I'm not gonna,
I
you
think
know,
he ended up
wear it."
he ended up putting it back on
Back
toward the end of the
on,
game, but I think I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what the NFL decides to do, and if they decide to find him, maybe, you know, he pulled a fast one and didn't, you know, he's not gonna get fined and punished for it, since it wasn't for long that he didn't have it on. But yeah, but no, good call on that one, Vlad. That just came to my head right now while I was watching that game last week. But I hope he doesn't get punished for it. I wouldn't want to see him get fined. So we'll see what happens with them and the Belichick and the NFL.
Right. Yeah. And let's not find Belichick.
Yeah, for real.
He has enough problems this year.
Big facts,
Right.
definitely.
So the team was fined $250,000 for not wearing masks while
The
coach.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. And the coach himself was fined $100,000 for not wearing his mask. And actually, congratulations to Mike Tomlin, because he became the winningest African American coach in NFL history, man. So
140 wins.
salute to that guy, man.
Yes, absolutely. Big shout out, Mike.
Like he's
Tomlin.
having an unbelievable season this year.
I can't believe people were calling for his seat last year. I'm like, are you serious, yo? The dude has not had one losing season his whole career. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's where people make a, you know, big argument about certain coaches not getting the opportunities they should. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's way better than Marvin Lewis, who
Marvin Lewis.
Oh yeah, he was garbage. Oh my goodness,
bro.
Yeah. Hell yeah, he was there for what, like 16 seasons and made what, like, it didn't win one playoff game. Like every time, I think they went like 4 or 5 straight years where they were like one and done in the playoffs. It was outrageous. It was absurd, right?
At least Mike Tomlin have won multiple playoff game, won a Super Bowl, went to another one, went to multiple AFC Championship
games. Right.
At least he's progressing
And having success, right? Absolutely.
Yeah, man. But hey, good luck to them, and congrats to Mike Tomlin again. And last week, you guys witnessed our our raw reaction to this play. I gave it to you.
Oh yeah.
You know, and we're talking about wide receiver Javon Wims. When he slapped the other dude from the Saints, he punched him. He grabbed his chain, pulled his chain, slapped him, punched him, and then started a brawl.
Yeah.
Was wild.
Oh yeah,
It's the way
insane.
it happened too. It was just crazy.
Yeah,
It was. That was hilarious.
he actually got suspended without pay for 2 games for his actions. So he'll miss in a couple game checks. And some more NFL. Baker Mayfield was put on the COVID-19 reserve list.
I think the way to do it is make him play and not pay him.
That's
So
barbaric.
playing for free?
That hurts even more.
So you still don't get a game paycheck even though you just played?
Doesn't that hurt more though?
Yo, there's like labor laws, bro. Like,
I know.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's even legal. I don't think the NFL can do that.
I don't think anybody can do that.
I'd go on the field and not move. Okay. You out of your mind.
Right. Like, why am I on this field for if I ain't gonna get my check for real?
Right, you know what I'm saying? But let's get into the Patriots, man. And they play on Monday night. Monday Night Football is going to be a lackluster game. Monday Night Patriots versus New York Jets. The Patriots are at the Jets. And so far, we know Sam Darnold's not going to play. I believe the Patriots put 17 people in their injury report.
Yeah, I did.
The
look
most
at
in a
it
minute.
and see that? Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be different. But let's preview that a little bit. Do we even need to preview that a little bit?
I mean, we did preview it last week, but we can just go over it a little bit. I mean, Tim Darnold is not gonna play.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
That's what I said.
I thought you said Tim.
Tim, yeah, it sounded like that too.
I was at the end of my yarn, so that's why.
Hey, gotcha. My bad.
Sindown is not gonna play, but I was watching last week's Monday night, and the guys were trying to preview next week's game, which is the Patriots game, and they even had trouble, like, hyping the matchup up because it's such a bad matchup.
Yeah,
right.
Night, you know what I mean? It's two teams that are playing really terrible right now, but this is, like I said last week, this is medicine for Cam Newton and the Patriots. If you cannot get up for this game and fuck this team up in all the ways possible,
right.
I don't even know if I'm watching football for the rest of the year. If I'm watching you know what I mean? Like, obviously I am, but
You're gonna watch the Bucks.
You're watching exactly. I was just gonna say that.
But
You just watch the Tampa Bay Bucks.
They have to be able to get up for this game. This is like the easiest game you get up for.
Listen,
Absolutely.
I was watching Jets versus Kansas City.
Yeah.
It's literally like a video of Kansas City just dancing the whole time before the play. I was like, are you serious?
What's that dance called? Swagger?
Yeah, man, I got that swag.
Swagger surfing.
Oh,
Yo, I'm like,
surfing.
yo, are you serious, bro?
What?
Yeah, like that's a
Oh, my
professional
goodness.
national football league team that you guys are not even taking seriously at all, and they fucking blew them out too. Like,
Yeah,
dude, like
for real.
with the ease, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh,
the
yeah.
Patriots, man, if you like Vlad said, if you can't get up for this and just smack these guys from the jump, you shouldn't be like, you're playing for a draft pick.
Yeah, like
Honestly, right. You might as well tank for Trevor Lawrence if you can win this game and beat the Jets.
If the Jets beat you, you're gonna be in line. Like,
Exactly. Right. You'll be only one game back of the Jets, which is pretty damn sad.
that gives you Fields from Ohio.
Right. Yep, that kid Justin Fields. Exactly. Right.
Be number 2.
That's true, unless if the Jets win another game, which I highly doubt that's gonna happen. But
if they win against us, they win another game.
Yeah, but that gives them only one win.
I see.
Exactly.
So we've won 2 wins.
That's something they'd have to win another game besides beating us
Gotcha.
again. Yep.
Yo, can you imagine us losing?
Like, I don't know if I can.
Jeez.
I don't know if I can stomach. Like, I've stomached all the loss so far. Like, usually, like when Brady was the quarterback of the Patriots, it was hard for me to watch other sports news after a Patriots loss because it was Brady. Brady wasn't meant to lose.
Right.
But this year, I've stomached all the loss. I'm like, we need to learn from that. Blah blah blah.
Right.
But I don't know if I can stomach a loss to the Jets.
Yeah. No. For real. Seriously, I can't either. Yeah. I don't know what I would do to myself if I we witness that transpiring on Monday. I hope that doesn't happen. I don't even have to even think about that. But God forbid if it does. Like, I really hope that's. We don't have to come to that point where we see us losing to a team that doesn't even have a win yet, and the NFL is looking like they're gonna be 0-16, another Cleveland Browns and Detroit Lions since they went 0-16.
What do you guys think they need to do to win?
Run the ball.
Run the ball. I agree.
Absolutely.
Get back to running the ball. Get back to getting Cam Newton running over people.
RPOs.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, run the ball.
Get back to that.
Don't even
and this is a game for the defense too. The defense needs to have four turnovers.
Listen, I don't even know. I think they're gonna have Sudfeld on the field as the backup.
That's what I mean. 4 turnovers.
Bro,
Who the backup QB?
who is the backup QB?
Joe Flacco.
Oh,
Yeah, he's actually gonna be playing Joe Flacco. So that's even more of a reason for the Patriots defense to play well and for them to win this game and blow them out. Because Joe freaking Flacco is playing. Like, if you
Joe Flacco likes to play the Patriots.
Yeah, he does. You know what's funny?
That's true, and he does play well against us, but still, he ain't the same Joe Flacco that he was when he was on the Ravens beating the Patriots.
Right, I seen him in a highlight like last week. And he was like hyping the team up. Yeah, it's time for you guys to step up. Today's the day. I'm like, Joe Flacco, like on the Jets. Yo, this shit weird.
And
you know
if you have Joe Flacco hyping your team, bro, I don't know.
Oh man, that's when you know you've hit rock bottom, to say the least.
Right.
But I wanted to say one thing: we won't have to worry about Sam Darnold seeing ghosts this game.
Oh God,
that was funny last
Yeah. I guess that won't be unless if Flacco sees ghosts.
I think he doomed his career with that right there with that statement, man, and that sucks.
But for sure, right? I don't think he could recover from that.
I'm looking for a better game from the coaches, from McDaniels. I'm looking for a better game from the defense, stopping the run. The defense haven't been able to stop the run all year, and I'm looking for them to do better at that. I'm looking for them to really shut down the Jets offense. Like literally, that's what I'm looking for, and I'm looking for Cam Newton to run the ball a lot more, and I'm looking for him to be more accurate passing as well. I mean, running is cool and all, but we need to pass the ball eventually to win some games. So I'm looking for a better game from Cam Newton all around, a better game from the team all around.
Right.
No, absolutely, for sure. And go along with that, definitely the decision making has to be, better for Cam Newton, and that's what I'm expecting. To see, and then no turnovers. I don't want a single fumble or a single interception for the Patriots in this game. There's no reason why they should be turning over the ball over the pathetic New York Jets defense. Like there's no excuse for that.
By the time you guys everybody away.
Exactly.
By the time this podcast comes out, the games would have already played. And I hope some of the things that we're talking about right now did come true.
Right.
Facts. Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll talk about that a little bit more. For me, man, I'm looking for this game to be kind of like preseason practice. Get back to basics. Get back to running. Get
tackling.
You know what I'm saying? Get some of these guys that we just signed on the field. Get that kid Isaiah on the field. Get him acclimated. You know what I'm saying?
Isaiah's not gonna play.
He's not gonna play.
He has to wait a week. So apparently, with due to the COVID protocols, if you get traded or you sign with a team, you have to miss that one game and then not play until the following game. So he won't play until the Ravens when they play them next Sunday night.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But again, I'm still looking for them to get back to basics in this game and try out some stuff that they've been doing in practice, because they don't really have they're the one team that really has new guys at every single position. You know what I'm saying? That's leading the team, and it just doesn't work like that in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And this year is just pretty different. But I do expect a win for the Patriots, at least. You know what I'm saying?
No question.
Yeah, no question about that. But let's get into some more Patriots stuff, man. Bill Belichick made a really interesting comment about, the fact that the team is struggling right now. And his comments were that, look, we paid Cam Newton $1 million. The fact of the matter is we have no money. We sold out and won 3 Super Bowls. Like, that's not an excuse. That's just facts. Did you guys hear that comment? And what'd you think about that when he said that?
I did hear the comment. I think it's excuses, to be honest. Sold out. The Patriots sold out the last couple of years to win 3 Super Bowls.
I think he was trying to say they went all in on those, years.
I know exactly what he was trying to say. Bullshit.
Right.
Bullshit. No. Like, I disagree. The whole time we were winning Super Bowl, we never talked about that. We never felt as though the Patriots sold out to win Super Bowl.
We're spending so much money.
We never felt as though the Patriots went out and got the best players in the world to win the Super Bowls. They did win, and it was amazing, but I don't think they sold out. The Belichick will tell you, whenever Belichick talk about the cap, this is how it usually starts. We all know that the cap can be managed and move around as many times as we can.
Right.
Like, he always says that. And then this year, all of a sudden, he's going to come out and say the cap is the main reason why we suck right now.
Right.
I'm not going to buy it.
Right.
That's an excuse. And Belichick himself will tell you he doesn't use excuses.
Right.
I just don't buy it. I'm sure it's part of it. I'm not saying it's not part of it. But for Belichick himself to come out and say that, for somebody that always says days off, no excuses. I'm
Yeah,
just
do
not,
your job, all that
I'm
stuff.
not gonna
Yeah.
take that from him. I'm just not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, I'd love to sit here and defend, Bill Belichick and say it's not, not an excuse, and that, he was saying this to, but pretty much try to cover himself up. But the fact of the matter is, unfortunately, it is an excuse. That's pretty much what it is. I think he was just looking for an easy way out of the situation, and I'm sure he's saying this out of frustration, since it's unlike him for him to say any of something of this sort. We never hear him be this open and this candidate about him, about the cap situation, and about the team in general. You just usually saying, oh, we're on to the Jets, we just have to play better next game and and execute better. But the fact that he was even opening up about the Patriots cap situation and having a lack of cap space, to me that kind of was mind-blowing and then shocking that he went as far as to say that. And the sold out and stuff for 3 championships, like, yeah, I'm not sold on that, because I don't really think they spend that much money and gave away that many big contracts other than Stephon Gilmore. That was really the only big contract. And maybe you could say Shaq Mason, he got a pretty big contract for a lineman. It was a big contract.
But Shaq Mason is not the guy you're gonna say they sold out for.
No. I hear what.
If you're talking about sold out, like you say, Shaq Mason, boy, please.
No, Bob, just saying that's that was one of the big contracts that the team invested in, but I mean, as far as selling out, yeah, they didn't sell out by him specifically. So I think with that being said, I don't think these comments may make a valid point, and I think it's a bad look for him to, for him to say that, he sold out. It was great that he won the championships, and he did what he had to do, and winning the Super Bowls. But it's just it's disappointing to see him make those comments and come up with an excuse for someone who's supposed to be a no excuse guy.
Yeah, nah, facts, man. I actually was watching live when he made those comments, and my reaction was like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?"
You fell out of place.
Yeah, I'm like, you sold out. Like, it's not an excuse. It's just facts. No. You've never said anything like that before. And like Barry was saying, we were having that conversation. Like, you haven't paid anybody other than Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Everybody else had to leave.
Maybe you give Revis a little bit of money,
right?
But sold out, bro.
And that was only for a year, exactly.
Brady has been taking discounts forever.
And Brady's been taking discount forever.
He's the GOAT, and he's been taking discounts
every year.
Brady could have been paid $40 million a year.
Listen,
every year if he wanted.
Absolutely.
Listen to this. Aaron Rodgers has played 5 less years and has made more money than Tom Brady.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
There you go. So, at the most important position on your team, you haven't sold out. You never sold out. You know what I'm saying? And everybody on our team that was doing good, you let them sign with another team because they wanted big contracts that they actually deserved. It's like they're getting this contract for a reason, Bill. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we should keep this guy. Wouldn't it be nice if we had a Trey Flowers on our team this year?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Great.
Like,
absolutely.
That would have been nice. You know what I mean? Chandler Jones, we just ended up trading him. You know what I mean? Because of whatever happened.
To Miami.
Calvin Noy.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you have pieces. You just let them walk. because your ego, you know what I mean? It's like an ego
Absolutely.
thing.
Arrogance,
you know what I mean?
right.
And you don't want to spend a lot of money, and it just doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's good for you to have, you know, a coach that's looking at all these things, saving your team money, making sure you have more money to, you know, bring in guys that we need at certain points. You know what I mean? And I'm not questioning Bill Belichick, but the whole, you know, sold out comment was just like, it felt off base, and I didn't agree with it. And, you know, I think he's having a hard year this year, and I think it's largely his fault. You know what I'm saying? Not bringing in a quarterback, you know, trying to fool us with Jared Stidham, who obviously doesn't look good at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and now.
For real, he doesn't. And I actually
now-
have a nickname for Jared Stidham. I came up with this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I call him Jared Pickham.
Oh, Jared Pickham. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, because that's what he does is throw picks whenever he goes into the game.
Maybe that'll stick if he ever gets to start somewhere. You know, but yeah, like the guy had us fooled that Jared Stidham was gonna be the guy. You know, calling him Stiddy all off season. You know what I'm saying? Like Stiddy. I mean, we have no tight ends, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like all the good tight ends that people were talking about are projected to the Patriots. He just bypassed all of those. You know what I mean? All the good receivers that are projected to go to the Patriots, he's just like, nah, there's a guy in the second round from a school that nobody fucking knows that we're gonna pick. You know what I'm saying? And it's shit like that. You know, more often than not, he didn't hit on him. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. And you need to say that you haven't drafted well. You know, COVID-19 is definitely a big impact on the team this year with all the players that opted out. You know, and free agency was also a big thing this year with all the players that, you know, left.
That left, right.
You know what I'm saying? So that there are some valid reasons why the team is where it's at. And, you know, not to talk about the fact that most of the guys that are leading on the team are new guys, you know what I'm saying? I mean, especially at the quarterback, you know. And now it looks like Cam Newton is probably your quarterback of the future. Because, you know, with the addition of Isaiah Ford and Isaiah Mack, what that tells you is that the team thinks that it still can win.
I mean, Belichick is Belichick. He's a great coach. I don't doubt that he believes he has the ability to coach around the struggles that they're going through. Is he going to? We don't know. So far, he has not.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm not so sure if Cam Newton's the quarterback of the future with this team. I'm not completely sold on that. But, I mean, I'm hoping that he does prove me wrong. And
No. He is your quarterback of the future. Because, listen.
What?
Yeah. Because, listen to me.
Oh, go ahead.
Right?
Go ahead.
If you're going to win more games for the season, that puts you, you know, out of the top 10 in the draft, all right? And the best quarterbacks are going to go, they're not going to, you know, they're going to go within like the first 10 picks. So that leaves you out of it. And then you have some other quarterbacks that are good, but that are not just like ready to like take over. So then you're going to need somebody to like be the starter for another year.
At least,
who's that going to be?
At least transition you into.
Who's that going to be? Jared Stidham? Brian Hoyer? I don't think so.
Yeah, not Jared Pickham. No.
You know what I'm saying? So not Jared Pickham. You know, so that's obviously logically. Why do you think he keeps starting games? Like logically, Cam Newton is your starter now, and most likely your starter in the future, unless you get a Ryan Fitzpatrick, you know, from the Dolphins, or a Jimmy Garoppolo. That people keep talking about is going to get to come back here for some reason. And, I mean, the way he's been performing, it looks like that could happen. You know what I mean? If we just offered a good pick for him. But, you know, those are definitely things that are not happening right now. But Cam Newton's definitely the quarterback of the future, man. And that brings me to another question. Can the Patriots salvage the season and still make the playoffs?
I mean, your 3 games under 500.
Yeah.
Belichick will win Coach of the Year. I don't think so.
No, you don't think so?
I don't see it. I see us losing. Like we gotta play the Chiefs, don't we?
No, we already played them. We already played the Chiefs.
So I know we have a couple of hard teams coming up. Let me look at You can go, Barry. I'll look at the schedule, okay?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, as crazy as this sounds, guys, I'm actually gonna say to this question, yes, they can salvage the season and still, make the playoffs and get a wild card spot, particularly with, there being an extra playoff team, being able to advance this year. Because I was hearing this on 98.5 the Sports Hub earlier this week, this same question, and they were saying that despite of the Patriots losing to the Bills last week, they're still not completely sold on the Bills. As I'm not completely sold on the Bills just yet. And also, if you look at the schedules, the Bills also have a pretty tough schedule as well, and I went down and looked at their remaining games of their schedule, the Buffalo Bills, and I honestly only see them winning like maybe 2-3 games, possibly for the rest of this season, because they brought some pretty tough opponents that they're gonna go against, including Seattle this week, who they're actually leading against, surprisingly. But I mean, even if they beat Seattle this week, they're still, gonna be a lot of tough games that they have during the season. Moving forward for them. But definitely the Patriots have to start, with this week beating the Jets, and then and go from there. I think that they even have a chance to beat, the Ravens, as inconsistent as the Baltimore Ravens have been this year. So if they can win the next couple of games, go to 4-5, and then they should even be able to beat the Texans and get to 5-5 before their schedule gets tougher, because I think they play the Cardinals after the Texans, and then they have that LA trip in which they play 2 games in 4 days, the Chargers and on Sunday, and then the Rams on a Thursday night. So that would be a tough stretch for them to get through. But if they can get through that, and still have a winning record or close to 500 record by that time, I think this team still has a chance. But they need to play with a much more of a sense of urgency, and just play better football in general in all 3 phases in order for them to be able to have any chance to make the playoffs and salvage their season.
Are you ready to go, Vlad?
I just don't think so. I think we're gonna play the Ravens after the Jets game. I think that's a loss. So that puts us at 6 losses. The Cardinals, I think that's another loss. That puts us at 7 losses. So and in the other games, the Chargers are another tough game. I think we can win that game, but if we don't win it, that puts us at 8 losses. And 8-8. I don't know if we can win the division with 8-8.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't think. I mean, the Patriots realistically have like a 10% chance of actually making it to the playoffs, and it's gonna be hard, but I don't think I want to doubt Belichick can do it. If anybody can do it, let's see how they look this week. Let's see if they can correct some issues. Let's see if they can break some other guys in here a little bit to see what's happening. Maybe Cam Newton's actually, back to playing shape, because he missed those 3 weeks of not playing at all, and he's looked like trash the last 3 weeks. Hopefully, he knocked that COVID-19 rust off and get back to what he was doing the first couple of games, which weren't like great statistically or anything like that, but he looked a lot better than he has the last couple of games, and hopefully, we get some guys back healthy and start doing some things. We have no tight ends right now. We had to bring some guys in to try out, because all our tight ends are injured right now and not going to play. I mean, if all you guys are injured and can't play, Monday night's game is the game to go, because we're playing the Jets, and, we all know they can't do nothing, they can't do nothing good out there.
Right, sure can.
You know, but it is what it is. But thanks for your opinion. And lastly, we're gonna go into the sleeper league. You know, which again, shout outs to the people that are participating in the sleeper league for Pro Fan Sports Podcast. We appreciate y'all, and we see some really good things going on. So we'll opine on some waiver wire pickups for this week. Barry, you want to go? Who you got?
Yeah. So for start, bench, and then pick up, I would say you'd want to start. I'll go with the wide receiver from the Steelers. I mean, you should be starting their receivers, but nonetheless,
Claypool?
no, Dante Johnson.
Okay.
So yeah, he's another one of their young receivers. You know, he's played pretty well from this season. I have him in a couple of my fantasy leagues, and he's done well for me. He's been putting up some good, solid numbers.
Yeah.
And they play the Bengals, which is a pretty, favorable matchup, for them next week in a game they should, be able to win and be able to move the ball and put points up on the board. So I would, definitely go with him to start. To sit, I would go. You definitely want to sit. I would sit Teddy Bridgewater going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next week. That defense has been playing well. I know they've played a little bit better offensively, but but I don't think that's a good matchup for them, with as well as the Bucs defense has been looking in most recent weeks. So I definitely would have him on your bench this week, and don't think that he's bound to have a good week against the Buccaneers defense. And then for waiver wire pickup, think I'd go with who's a good waiver wire pickup. So I think there's going to be some quarterbacks that are going to be having some bye weeks coming up. Particularly, I know Pat Mahomes has a bye week coming up. So I think quarterbacks that should be on the market. Like maybe a Justin Herbert if he's still there.
Justin Herbert, if he's still there,
right.
In your league.
Right, that's true. That's true.
Justin Herbert hasn't been picked up in your league, y'all stuck.
Or you know what, Tua.
If Tua is still on the waiver wire in your league,
I don't know. He just started playing though. It's only his second game or his third game. He just made his first start last week.
Tua like 2 weeks ago. You gotta be ready for this shit.
The only person people might not have picked up is the Cowboys quarterback.
Oh, Garrett.
He's trash though. No one wants him.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only person that's starting that people might have not picked up.
You know what? Some guys you should pick up though. Is a guy like Logan Thomas. He's the
tight end from the Washington football team.
He's actually been doing pretty well. Another person you should pick up is Matt Breida, because Myles Gaskin was put on injured reserve just recently. And Gus Edwards from the Baltimore Ravens, because
it is another good one.
He's getting all the goal line carries, so you might want to pick
Mark
those
Ingram's
guys up,
hurt, right?
Because I know there's a lot of injuries, and you might want to add some guys to surplus your rosters. And Jermichael Hasty, I believe he's from San Francisco. He's a receiver over there. They got Nick Mullins. If you're in a 2-quarterback league, Nick Mullins, he took over for Jimmy Garoppolo, so he should be doing pretty well.
I feel bad for Jimmy.
Yeah,
no, me too, man. He has the worst luck with injuries. No, for sure. I think another good waiver wire pickup would be Jordan Reed, the tight end, since George Kittle was is pretty much out for the season. So.
Yeah, I would never pick up Jordan Reed in any fantasy league ever.
I know what you mean.
All right, because that guy is injured. You breathe on this. He's fucking
It's
down.
like,
Okay.
It's like he has that one good game, and you're like everybody picks him up, and then he sucks.
He sucks.
God.
He's been the most injured dude I've ever seen in my life.
And he's good though.
Yo, he used to be good.
When he's healthy, he can ball.
He can ball.
Right. When he actually can stay on the field, which is rarely and very, very seldomly. But yeah, he puts up really good numbers and plays really well when he's on the field. But you're right, he just can't stay on the field and can't stay healthy, and it's crazy because it's like, damn, you don't sometimes notice how he gets injured, but he just comes up on the injury report and ends up being out for several weeks and never coming back.
Like, it seems like this will be out for like 2 years at a time. You're like, yo, where this dude been at, man? Because I had him on a few fantasy teams years back to back, man, and he's like one of the most athletic tight ends they've had in the league, I've seen. But he's just like a cracker, bro. Like, as soon as he gets hit, bro, he breaks.
Yeah, it takes one hit and boom, he's done. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like really easily, breakable. So that's gonna be it for our NFL segment, man. And we're gonna move into the NBA, where we got an NBA return, fellas, and it looks like we're not gonna be waiting long to actually see some NBA back in our lives. So we, it's gonna feel like we've had NBA for like a full year,
pretty much.
But we gotta
for
remember,
the most part, right?
It was shut down for like 3 months.
Yeah,
it just came back at the wrong time of the season, and now it has to start even earlier to try to get back on track, as well as shortening the season to 72 games. So, the NBA is returning December 22nd, 2020, so right before Christmas. So I presume there's going to be some Christmas Day games.
There has to be.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, there will be for sure. That's like one of the best days of the NBA season and one of their premier days where they have all the marquee matchups. So without question.
Right, because we all got to be sitting on that table having dinner, watching the game, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's no better feeling. Hopefully it snows too. It's going to be the shortest off season in the history of the game. So 71 days. And, big stars, older stars like LeBron is not feeling that because they wanted another month off, which I'm with them. You know what I'm saying? I think that would help them avoid injury, let them rest up a little bit. I mean, hopefully, the teams can manage the stars and make sure, they're not exerting themselves.
Yeah, you're going to have to load management, pull a Kawhi Leonard. Right.
Yep.
For sure.
The NBA draft is actually going to happen on November 18th this year. So that's coming up this month. And OKC remains without a head coach. I think they're the only team left.
Yep, that's right.
Head coach, since Billy Donovan.
Yep, exactly. Everyone else that needed a head coach, they hired one except OKC, which is surprising because now we know what the season starts in a little bit more than a month. So, yeah, I don't know what OKC is waiting for, but they better hurry up and put some pep in their step.
They're probably gonna, hire some guy from within as the interim or something like that.
Right, some guy was probably on their staff last year. Yeah,
they really don't even have much time to do that. Like you're gonna get a coach for a month to implement everything that they need to. Like that seems like wrong planning to me. But let's move into the Celtics, man. Gordon Hayward, he's a big topic. He's been a big topic all year. Due to his role on the team and injury issues and things like that, and us losing him at key points in the season and things like that. But there's been some stuff that maybe Vlad will be happy about that's been going on.
Maybe Vlad will be
maybe Vlad. Gordon Hayward has been rumored to want to opt out of the contract and rumored to want to move forward with the Al Horford plan.
What do you mean by Al Horford plan?
Opt out and find a team to give him a bigger contract. Shorter and
Biden.
I like check that one.
See you later.
Yup. Peace. Deuces. Yup. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, unfortunately, Gordon Hayward's time in Boston has not been the best. I think if he was healthy, it would have been actually a great. I think we would be talking differently about the Celtics if Gordon Hayward was healthy. I think that first year with Kyrie probably would have been different. You know what I mean? Kyrie probably would have still been here. Like, there's so many things that could have changed if Gordon Hayward's time here was the best. But it hasn't really worked. He's been injured most of the time. And he's a big contract that we can get rid of.
Yeah.
See you.
I mean, listen, man. If Barry, do you have something to say about that?
Well, yeah, no, with that, it's like one of those things that, you know, if he leaves, he leaves. If he stays, he stays. I mean, we're aware that he has that player option coming up of, you know, $34.2 million that he could make next year. I don't know why he wouldn't just opt into that, get your bag, you know, and your money, because I don't think there's any team that's even gonna pay you what, 30 million or even 20 million, let alone 34 million that you're going to be making with the Celtics. So I think he'd be a fool if he, you know, doesn't decide to at least stay for one more year with the Celtics and just, you know, secure the bag. But I mean, if he wants to leave, he can leave if he's not really happy here, you know, with, you know, being on the team and with his role and wants to play elsewhere and wants to change his scenery. I mean, I'm okay with that. Wouldn't bother me at all. And yeah, if he wants to go, he can go. But if he stays, then it is, you know, what it is. But I mean, he has to be better if he does want to stay, and you know, and then definitely can't do what he's been doing, you know, in terms of not being able to stay on the court with the team when they need him the most. So, yeah, we'll see what he decides to do with that player option, and if he does pull Al Horford and look for a bigger contract, well, a longer contract with more money. So I doubt that he'll get that, but we'll see if that, you know, happens or whatnot.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think the team definitely could use a Gordon Hayward. I'm talking about the Celtics for sure. If he opts out, there's definitely two things he could do. He could come back to the table and, you know, negotiate a different type of contract with a smaller yearly salary, but like a longer contract. Obviously, that's what he's looking for. Because I don't know where he's gonna go, you know, to get a longer contract and a higher contract. You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, he's kind of like in limbo a little bit, but there's always a sucker somewhere, you know what I mean? There's always somebody that's willing to pay somebody something they really didn't deserve or anything like that, or like haven't really shown you that they can do, you know. There's always, you know, to sometimes it's to excite their fan base, sometimes it's because they're just dumb and make the wrong moves, you know. But I definitely think when he's healthy and he's on the team, he definitely helps the team out, for sure. But, you know, can the team survive without him? Like Vlad was making a case? Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, can we survive without him? Yeah, for sure. And also, the draft is coming up, so we'll see what they do for that. And with that, the Celtics are rumored to want to move up in the draft. So that's something right there. And the other day, they also posted R.J. Hampton, who's one of the top guards in the draft, and he's like 6'5", 6'5" guard. And, you know, obviously...
6'5"?
Yeah. That's taller than Kemba, bro.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You know, that's
true. That is a bigger guard.
I honestly don't want another guard, but 6'5", that's tall.
Yeah, 6'5", man.
Taller than Marcus Smart too. So yeah, no, that's a pretty good size guard right there to add on the perimeter.
Right. But you know, as they say, they're looking to move up in the draft. Have you guys been paying attention to the prospects?
Not yet. Nah, I haven't really.
I haven't really looked at them.
It's the 18th.
The 18th.
The 18th.
Yeah.
So next week.
So next week. But
I've spent some time on that this week.
Yeah. I definitely think they have they need to move up. and grab a big man if they can. And I'm hearing a lot about this Onyeka Okongwu kid from UFC. He's like a carbon copy of what's that dude's name from the Miami Bam?
Bam Adebayo, yeah.
So
I know I've heard a lot of comparisons with him and Adebayo. Yeah.
So that's what I'm hearing. The Celtics are rumored to want to go after, and then they turn around and posted R.J. Hampton. So they might be, if we get another wing, like it's not going to be bad either. Another athletic wing, because if Gordon Hayward leaves, like we are going to need that.
Right, so someone that can shoot and make some shots.
Yeah, create some shots. So we'll see what happens with that, and next week we'll get a little deeper into the draft, into what's going to happen. Maybe talk a little bit more about the prospects that are about to come into the NBA, and talk about why maybe this is one of the weaker drafts in the last couple of years that's coming out. So and also it's going to be unique because the COVID-19 season, baby.
Of course.
So
yeah, that's true.
We'll see how that goes. But that's gonna be it for the NBA, man. Let's get into some MLB. Some exciting stuff happened for the Red Sox just the other day. When was that? 2 days ago?
Yeah, that was on Friday. Right.
So on Friday, the Red Sox dropped some big news. Maybe not so much big news for guys that have been following the Red Sox religiously for the last for the last year. They've been talking about bringing this guy back, and on Friday they made it official. The Red Sox have rehired coach Alex Cora. 2018 World Series coach Alex Cora. He's back on the team, man. And Jerry Remy, he let off a statement. He approved of the situation. We saw people like Brock Holt, make a comment about it, saying that he'll always respect him no matter where he's at. We saw people like David Price come out and give his opinion about it, talking about the guy knows everything that he needs to know, and he knows the players better than anybody. And when he speaks, everybody listens. So
David Price with LA Dodgers, right?
He's with the LA Dodgers, but even
what
then,
happened? He just didn't come back for.
Remember,
he opted out.
We dropped that on them.
That's true.
He was like, "Yo, you guys have a good season."
But I wonder if he got a ring.
I mean, why wouldn't he?
I guess he would.
He's still part of the team. He just opted out. Well,
Yeah,
maybe
but he didn't play at all.
He opted out of the season, so he's not on the team this year.
Maybe he didn't play at all. So maybe.
I hope he
That's
don't
what
get a
I'm
ring.
saying. So I'm wondering if he's going to get his ring or not.
I hope he.
I don't want to take away from what we're talking.
Right. Now, I was just having that thought in my head, but didn't want to get off topic
No, I
too
hope
much.
he don't.
Yeah, me either. Shoot, I don't want to see him get
Why would
another
you
ring. Bro.
you opted out of the whole season, so that means you weren't on the team this season.
Exactly. He doesn't
You know what I'm
deserve
saying?
it.
Like, you
Right,
wasn't
right.
with us.
You didn't put in that work for it. Exactly.
No. You're not.
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
No. Okay, that's my take on it.
No,
But
facts.
Alex Cora, man, he's back, dude. How do you guys feel about it? Did the Red Sox make the right move?
I mean, honestly, we saw the writing on the wall a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Right, facts.
Even as soon as he got
Fired.
or
mutually agreed to part ways.
Even when that happened, everybody was already talking about they're gonna have to bring him back. He won the most game. The year he won the World Series, he won the most game in Red Sox history.
Yeah,
And
right.
So, it feels weird bringing a cheater back, but I don't know if the Red Sox had any other choice.
Was he doing that stuff with the Red Sox?
I mean,
He was doing the Astros.
there was a little bit of that with the Red Sox as well. Remember the Red Sox got investigated?
Yeah, anything happened to that?
Yeah, but they didn't find anything.
I don't know if they didn't find. I don't know.
They didn't have enough evidence to punish the Red Sox. I don't think they found much of anything.
No face,
at
no
all.
case, bro.
I don't know, but I just think the Red Sox had only one choice to bring him back.
No.
So.
Okay. Barry?
Yeah, no, I feel good about this move. With him being back, it definitely brings some excitement to the team, to the players and the ownership and the fan base. Gives them something to look forward to, and someone that actually knows the team. Already has that good relationship with the players and with the ownership, and has already developed a good ownership with the GM and Chime Bloom. So I think certainly it's a good thing for him to be back. I'm kind of over the situation that happened with the Houston Astros, just because he was served his 1 year suspension. He did his time for that. And he did what he had to do. In terms of being out of the game, due to that scandal that happened, and I heard he was actually one of the most people that was on that Astros team that was actually honest and candidate. About that, and very cooperative with the MLB as far as what had happened during that during the scandal with the Astros. So I don't really hold that against him. I know that's some fans do, and some fans still feel some kind of way about that. But me, personally, I don't have, moved on from it. And like I said, last week, the manager of that team, AJ Hinch, who was the Astros manager at the time of the scandal, just got hired to the Detroit Tigers as their manager last week. So since he already got a job and already is back in baseball, I mean, there's no reason why Alex Cora shouldn't have his job back with the Red Sox, or shouldn't be able to get job, back with any team, but, I'm definitely glad that he's back here. He knows how to deal with the media as well. I think that's a big thing, is, on how to deal with the Boston media, because the Boston media can be tough, on coaches and on teams here, particularly if they're not performing, well and not performing up to expectations. So, it's certainly a good thing, that he's back here. I'm glad to see it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do to better this team, because there's a lot of things that this team needs to be able to. There's a lot of holes on this team that they need to fill in order to be able to be a competitive team again. But this is definitely a right step in the direction, and it's about time the Red Sox did something good and got something right. So this is definitely a good start for them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, who else were we going to hire? There's, when you go through a hiring process, you got to look at guys and look at their resumes. And there was one guy, I believe, that had the winningest record in franchise history and a trophy on their resume. Mm-hmm. So, and also he's Hispanic. We have a lot of Hispanic guys on our team that, can relate to that coach and respond better. I'm thinking about Rafael Devers. I'm thinking about a Xander Bogaerts. I'm thinking about a Rodriguez. You know what I'm saying? Those guys really relate to him, and they respond to him.
JD Martinez.
Yes,
right,
JD Martinez. They, he knows how to push their buttons, and they respond to him. So,
right, absolutely.
And like I said, man, no face, no case, B.
Yes, man. I think that should be the title for this one. I like that one, John.
So congratulations to Alex Cora, man. But I think he knew he was going to be back the whole time, to be honest. Because like I said last week, he took a picture on Halloween with like the Red Sox, the trophy that he won. You know what I'm saying? So like, the writing has been on the wall for a long time. And like Vlad said, as soon as they fired him, we knew like he was going to be, a top candidate to get this job back once his suspension was over, and once baseball just let him back in the league. So, it is what it is. Congratulations to him, and hopefully the Red Sox do some really good stuff, man. And
they got a lot of work to do.
Right, that's gonna be it for the MLB. We're gonna get into soccer, and Vlad's gonna let us know what's up.
All right. Well, soccer, mainly the New England Revolution. This week they played the DC United, and they won 4-3 against DC United. The next game is against Philadelphia. Right now they stand 6th in the Eastern Conference, and they're still in playoff contention. So they just got to keep playing well to stay in playoff contention. As for international news, Barcelona is back in winning graces. This week they won against Real Betis, but Messi came off the bench and scored 2 goals. Besides that, Man City played Liverpool this week and they tied that, and we know Man City and Liverpool are some of the top dogs in the Premier League, and that's a game that everybody wakes up for. But yeah, not much to report about that.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Thanks a lot for that,
Thanks,
man.
Vlad. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. You know, I did take in a Revolution game the other day.
Oh, did you?
Maybe like
really?
maybe
Oh,
like
nice.
last week or something like that, where they started off. The other team scored 2 on them.
Yeah,
and then they
that was
brought
the
it
game.
back.
That was the
They
game
brought it back.
against DC United.
Okay, yeah. No, that was a good game. That was a good game. Yeah, that was my first like real soccer game for a long time.
For a long time.
And I only watched it because my roommate was there watching. I'm like,
You might as well. Exactly. Right. No other sports on or anything else.
He's just a sports fan, and he watches whatever sports is happening
sports
until
on
he goes
TV.
to sleep. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
And
nice.
you know,
There are people like that. They watch anything.
anything like
Word.
Oh,
you know.
bowling? Sure. The bowling league?
Yeah,
Sure.
he
Right. The
was
one the
watching
league
the
we were
pulling.
talking about
He was
last
watching the
week.
pulling.
Yeah, pulling. Yeah.
I was just thinking about it. I'm like, what's that what's that sport again? You know, he watches NASCAR. He watches whatever's on the
As
TV.
long as they're keeping score, he's watching.
Oh, dude, he's on ESPN, and then he's on like Nessun. If one's on commercial, click
Click onto the other one.
onto the other one.
Oh man, that's funny. That's hilarious. The Revolution been playing well this year or not?
They're playing okay. I mean, not bad, but okay, I would say.
Yeah. Okay.
I seen there was just one thing soccer related I didn't hear about. I don't know if you want to touch upon this real quick, Vlad, about Diego Maradona. Didn't he have brain surgery this week? And I heard the surgery went well and he's doing well and recovering from it.
you.
Thank you, Barry.
Hey, no problem. Hey, I'm trying to get him to the soccer game too, man.
Hey,
I'm
we
trying
got
to
2
step
soccer
my game
guys
up.
now.
So yeah, last week was Diego Maradona's 60th birthday. And
Yes, it was. Yeah, happy belated.
And
Yeah.
the week on the 60th birthday, doctors found a blood clot in his brain. So they operated him and took it out, and they say he's doing better, but he's having issues after the surgery, so they're keeping him in the hospital for a little bit more. He's like a god of soccer, and
Yes, he is.
you know,
Yes, absolutely.
in Argentina and in Napoli, Italy, he's like God. Like if you go to Argentina or you go to Napoli, Italy, you see like murals of Maradona, and people were in front of the hospital, cheering him on. He's just. Yes, I don't.
He's that guy
Some
out
people
there.
just
He
get
is
that
that guy.
statue. You know what I mean? You're a god to those people. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I wish him well.
Yeah, wish
sure.
Maradona well. Good luck with your recovery. We hope wish you a quick and speedy one.
Right, we're gonna go into the questions of the week, man, and we got our guy Eddie Rodriguez from Philadelphia.
Yes, sir.
back.
My guy Eddie.
And he asked a couple of questions, but
Shout out to Philly.
yeah, right.
Yes, sir. yeah.
Well, those who knows why.
Right. And he had a couple questions, but I only wrote one down because I thought his first question was a little foolish. I'm like, you know better than that, bro. Come on.
What's his
bro.
first question?
His first question is like, do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers are contenders or playoff contenders? I'm like,
We're
are you serious?
We're not answering that.
Right. No, I hear you. That's a pretty
undefeated
obvious
team.
and clear cut, answer.
You're right, John.
They're
The
the
only
only-
undefeated team.
Come on, man. Like, come on. You know better than that. But his question was, I think it's a valid question. Do you think the Steelers playing the Bengals is a trap game after they play the Cowboys this week?
That's always a trap game. But the Steelers are not dumb. It's a conference. It's a division game.
Division game.
you got to get up for division games. But
right.
divisions games can be trap games. Because I know sometimes the Patriots will find themselves playing the Bills after winning like by 40. And then they play up to the opponent's energy.
Right.
And not that they lose that game, but they come out flat in the first quarter or in the first half. So it definitely can be a trap game.
Yeah.
But if the Steelers know better, and I know Mike Tomlin knows better, you cannot let your team sleepwalk through that game.
Yeah, no, for sure. I hear what you're saying, Vlad, but, I don't see it as a trap game, particularly with the way this team is, playing right now and playing that joke of a team in Dallas, the Cowgirls, as I like to call them. So I think, this team is going to continue to keep playing well and they won't have a letdown. I get maybe sometimes after playing, or playing a team that, that is not as good as you can have, that letdown and not really play as well. But with the way things are going for that team, and you're right, Mike Tomlin has those boys, looking really good and looking ready to play and executing well on all three phases, and particularly on offense with all those receivers that they have, and then Ben Roethlisberger's been doing his thing, and then that defense has been looking pretty good too, and has been solid, and they just added a good linebacker at the trade deadline on there. So I don't see there's this being a trap game for the Steelers, and I think they're going to keep on rolling and be 9-0 after this game against the Bengals next week.
Yeah, man. There's one thing for teams that are undefeated, man. They're going to get up for games. You know what I'm saying? Because they have a certain goal in mind. They're the only undefeated team. You see them dancing their ass off after the games, each games they've won. So I don't think they're just going to sleepwalk into the game. And I think even like their worst games, they're still going to win against the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? The Bengals definitely have a chance of winning because they did win against the Titans last week. We can't say that. But I don't think they're, I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to underestimate the Bengals, you know what I mean? Because they know, it's like Vlad said, it's a division game. And those games are usually hard games. It's never like, look at what happened to the Bills and Patriots last week. Even though we sucked throughout the game, we still kept the game really close. And that's due to being able to play each other so many times during the year that each other so well that what's going to happen. And, and now the Bengals have a better quarterback, so I definitely think they're gonna be up for it. It's not a team you can just like steamroll, by doing nothing. So
for sure, they still gotta come out and play and execute and and put a full 60 minutes together, right? It's not like they're just gonna roll over them and the Bengals are gonna bow down to them and. And then it'll be a cakewalk. It's still, they still have to go out and play the game at a high level. But I just think this team, is rolling right now, and they're, really hitting their groove, and don't see them, slowing down. I think it's even going to be a tough day for Joe Burrow, even though he's been playing well. But I think, he'll struggle in this game and have a tough time against that Steelers defense that's been able to get pass rush on the quarterback and, and defend well against the pass as well as the run.
Yeah, man. Again, though, Eddie, thank you, bro.
Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate you, brother.
And
much love and respect to you, my brother.
We seen that sweatshirt you're wearing, and I posted it on social media against Instagram, profans_sports. I posted that on the story, and people were putting the fire emoji. So you make that sweatshirt look good, bro.
Yes, you sure do. Thanks for rocking the gear and supporting us. We appreciate it, man. That was a fire hoodie.
Yeah, man. And the next question comes from CJ Monroe from Southington, Connecticut.
Yeah, another one of my guys right there, CJ.
Word. And his question is, what are your thoughts on Lamar Jackson? Is he a top tier QB? And can he win the big games and beat contenders?
I think Lamar Jackson is working his way there. I think, last year he won the MVP this year he hasn't looked like exactly that MVP caliber that he was last year, but he's still playing well. For you to be top tier, to me, you need to be consistent. 5 years, show me 5 years of you into the league. 5 years into the league, Hawkins. He's working his way there. You know, I mean, he's been getting better every year. Even though this year he's not having that MVP type season, he's still playing well. Like that matters. So, and he's throwing. I feel like he's throwing more this year, and that's important as well for a quarterback. So he's working his way there. But give it a couple more years. Let's see how consistent he can be, how reliable he can be. Can he stay on the field and not get injured? Let's see if he improves every year. But he's working on his way there
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I like Lamar Jackson. I've always been a fan of his, and then like the way he plays the game and the energy he brings, to that team. As far as him being a top tier quarterback, I don't think he's there yet. Not at the moment. I think he could get there. He does have the possibility and the potential to be able to get there if he plays the way that he's capable of. I still think he has to play a lot better than what he's played this year. He's done all right this year. I feel like he's taken a step back and in terms of not really playing well against the teams that are 500 or over, which he's struggled against. But I'm sure with time he'll get better with that. He has to be a much more efficient passer, because his completion percentage and and then the accuracy, what I'm saying, haven't been there this year, and that's something that he needs to feel like improve and continue to get better at for him and to be a top tier quarterback in this league. But he definitely is still young. He still has time to be able to to improve and make progress in those aspects of his game and decision making as well. I'd like to see him get better at that too, and I feel like if he does get better with those things, he can certainly be a top tier quarterback in this league. And as far as whether he can win the big games and be the contenders, I know he hasn't done that at the moment, to this point of his career, but hopefully, with time, that will change and he'll be able to win the big ones and feel like he is capable. He just has to play a lot smarter in those big games and be a lot more accurate, and he'll definitely be able to beat those contenders in the AFC if he does that moving forward.
Yeah, man. I think the Patriots should have drafted Lamar Jackson over Sony Michel.
One of my friends actually said that during that draft too.
No,
that
for sure.
That they made a mistake passing on Lamar Jackson.
No, they made a huge mistake passing on him, and we would have been lucky to have him this year. I think Lamar Jackson has had a top tier quarterback year, and that was the MVP season that he won. And I've never seen a quarterback do the things that he did that year. Especially
he was special that year.
Especially with his jukes, especially with his stopping on a dime, skill, and watching a guy fly past him and walking right into the. I've never seen anything like that before. You know what I'm saying? So I think he can definitely be a top tier quarterback in the league. I don't think he's there quite yet. I agree with you guys. But there's also reasons why he's not there yet. He really only has one good receiver, and he has
Hollywood
one
Brown,
good tight end who has been injured a lot of times this year, and hasn't performed well, up to his standards. Lamar Jackson also lost one of the best linemen he's had, with Yonda, a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, right. That was a big loss for their O-line.
Hall of Fame O-lineman. So, obviously, the performance is going to drop down. And their running backs haven't been, doing anything great either this year. So, they used to have one of the top, running games in the league. And that opened up Lamar Jackson for a lot of stuff, when you're biting on the run, you know, he could leak out the pocket and do damage, which he's done at times this year, and sometimes he just can't do that. You know, as good as some players are, they can't do everything on their own. And you know, I definitely think he's on his way as far as like winning the big games. He hasn't done that, so we can't say that he can do it. So until he proves it, he can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, he hasn't won a big playoff game yet. He's just dropped a dud in all the playoffs. He has a way for you to cover him, and if you do it like that, he doesn't win games. So, you know, he definitely has to learn some stuff. He has to work on his throwing for sure. They have to get him some weapons out there, man, to throw too. You know, I'm thinking some really athletic guys that can run, kind of like the OKC. Kind of like OKC, you know, some really fast guys, because you know
Human Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City. Yeah,
Kansas City. I'm saying OKC, but you know, he has scramble ability, and if you got fast guys like a Tyreek Hill who can, you know, zoom down the field and get open, you know, you got a Coleman, you got a Watkins, you got all these guys are fucking fast.
Exactly.
Bro. You know,
that can fly.
You know, Marquise Brown, he can fly, but that's only one guy you got. You know,
I thought you were talking about Chris Paul being out there or something.
I know, for real.
OKC, they need to go ahead and get a coach, but
yeah, for real.
CJ Monroe, man, thank you for the question.
Thanks, brother.
I
Appreciate
think that was the
you.
first one that you sent in, and that's gonna be it for our question of the week. We're gonna get into the money lifestyle person of the week. And before he does that, you know, we just like to say again, congratulations, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, who's the first president. I mean, Joe Biden's the president, and Kamala Harris the first female vice president in American history. So, who you got?
Yeah, so you had those guys. You already said it for me. You know, congratulations. You know, to both of them, Joe Biden and Kamala. You know, Harris for, you know, winning the election and being the next president and vice president of the U.S. in the next 4 years, and making history with Kamala Harris being the first black and Asian vice president, and that the country has, you know, had before. So definitely big shout outs to them. I did want to share a kind of really cool and touching story with you guys today that I'd heard during this week. I know there wasn't really much sports, you know, things going on due, you know, to the election, but you know, nonetheless, apparently Logan Ryan, his apparently the team that he plays for, the New York Giants, the team, their trainer, apparently helped save his wife's life this week. So he had credited the team trainer with potentially saving the life of his wife after she underwent an emergency surgery for a pregnancy in Tuesday in Florida. So she had been pregnant, and you know, she early in the week on Tuesday, like everyone else, went out to vote, went out to the polls, and then went to check up on the house, you know, after she voted, and then she was feeling some intense systematic pain, you know, that morning, and you know, wanted to sleep it off, and then one of the trainers for the Giants had, you know, told Logan Ryan that his wife needs to go to the emergency room ASAP. Once he told him of the symptoms that she was having, so you know, Logan Ryan told, you know, his wife that, and you know, his wife ended up, you know, taking that advice and going to the emergency room and having, you know, the surgery that she needed to, you know, to save, you know, her life and her pregnancy. So that was definitely, you know, really awesome and you know, great and pretty touching thing that, you know, that the trainer did for him. I believe, yeah, the trainers.
Wait, so what did the trainer do?
So he advised Logan Ryan and told him that his wife should go to the emergency room since she was pregnant. She had apparently had to have an atomic.
She was feeling pain, and then Logan Ryan told the trainer that this is my wife. She's pregnant and she's feeling these kind of pains. This is the situation. The trainer was like, "Yo, you need to get your wife to emergency room right now." So then he did, and then she got saved.
Right.
What was wrong with her? Like,
She had.
do we know?
Oh, I don't know.
So apparently she had what is called an ectopic pregnancy, when a fertilized egg grows outside a woman's uterus.
Yeah.
So that was what she had to have surgery on, and that was why the trainer, Justin Maher, that's his name, the Giants trainer.
Right.
He had told Logan Ryan to tell his wife to go to the hospital to be able to get that emergency surgery and get that taken care of, since she needed to get taken care of ASAP, and which she did, thankfully. And Logan Ryan says that the wife is recovering well and doing better, and he expressed his gratitude to both Mayor and the Giants organization. After after he was in practice Wednesday, speaking to the media, saying that this is the type of organization we have here. Honestly, I wasn't going to talk about that. My kids are okay. My wife is recovering well. She is okay. This happened all yesterday. And Coach Judge, Joe Judge, the coach of the Giants, he had even told him that if you need to fly to Florida, don't worry about football. That's what Joe... that's what Joe is as a man and as a coach. So he was, crediting Joe Judge, his head coach, for, understanding of his situation, and letting him, if he needed to, fly to Florida to be with his wife and be with his family through the tough time that they're going through. So, definitely big shout out to the trainer and to the Giants organization on for doing what they did, and and giving advising her to get help and when she needed to. And I'm glad that she did get that help, and is doing better now, and is in a better situation physically and mentally. So that's that B Money lifestyle, and congrats to the trainer and the Giants organization for being this week's B Money lifestyle person of the week.
Yeah, that was a good story, man. And good for Logan Ryan. His wife is still around, and he can enjoy her for hopefully many more years, man.
And the baby.
And the baby.
Right, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And that definitely is a class act, and good for him that he had people around him that he can actually ask a question like that. Because if your girl says she's going to sleep, we're gonna be like, all right, go to sleep then.
Cool, exactly. We ain't gonna question that. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
For real.
So hey, congrats to them, man. And that's gonna be our episode 34 of Pro Fan Sports Podcast, where the fans of the pros go, man. And once again, please subscribe to our YouTube. We work hard on these videos and the content that we put out there. Until episode 35, peace out, man.
Peace, guys. Have a good week. See you